What does discipline mean to you? Most of our experience of discipline has been negative. It may have been humiliating and involved emotional and or physical punishment or even abuse. However, the word has its origin in the word disciple, someone who follows and is guided, and to discipline originally meant to educate or teach. So, if we shift our thinking from discipline meaning punishment to discipline meaning teaching or guiding, we can see that it is possible to develop more positive approaches to discipline. Discipline in the form of teaching is important. Children need to learn from adults what behavior is appropriate in any given situation, how to interact socially, and how to be respectful of others as well as themselves. Discipline in the form of teaching is important. They need to learn that there are consequences to behavior and that the way they choose to behave will have an impact on themselves as well as those around them. So discipline is a means to an end rather than an end in itself, a way of helping children grow up as confident, independent, responsible and responsive people. We may be able to force children to be obedient. For a time, we are bigger and more powerful than them. But in the long term, it is more helpful for them to learn to cooperate through understanding and self-discipline, not because they are afraid of us. There are four main kinds of boundaries that children and teenagers are likely to meet. Constructing lots of rules and regulations, often backed up with severe punishments, little room to explore, do as you are told, like a dictatorship, control for its own sake. The second type of boundary is called absence of boundaries. No limits, anything goes, neglectful or indulgent, like anarchy. Third type is called inconsistent, often a mixture of constructive and absent, strict one day and indulgent or neglectful the next. Fourth one is clear, consistent boundaries. This one is safe, fair limits with clear expectations, stability with plenty of room to explore and grow. If we are constricted and over-controlled, we may become rebellious and uncooperative, or go to the other extreme and become timid, submissive, waiting to be told what to do, and reluctant to try things for fear of making mistakes. That's the risk that we will do whatever someone older or more authoritarian tells us, making us vulnerable to those who want to abuse us or pressure us into risk-taking behavior. Rules without relationship breeds rebellion, says Engram. No matter what age or stage your child is, it's never too late to start cultivating a strong relationship with them based on love, trust, and discipline. A parent that loves is a parent that disciplines. God disciplines those he loves, the word states. Parents who hate their children don't bother to guide or discipline them. Too much freedom can be as scary as not having enough. If there are no boundaries, we may feel that nobody cares about us and may behave in extreme and sometimes dangerous ways in an attempt to get someone to take charge. With inconsistent boundaries, we can feel confused and insecure and also learn to be manipulative. If the adults around us are not clear about what they expect of us, we can't learn what behavior is okay. A lot of difficult behavior can be traced to this. Clear, fair boundaries help us feel secure, safe to explore within given limits and to test them. This leads to confidence, an ability to try things without taking foolish risks, and respect for others. These are helpful boundaries. Consistency, particularly when we are young, is important. Positive discipline is fair, firm, consistent, and kind. Positive discipline is encouraging. It makes allowances for the fact that children need time to learn what behavior is acceptable and what is not, and that they may make mistakes. It pays attention to what they are doing well rather than noticing only what they do wrong. It keeps adults in charge while respecting children's rights and feelings and helping them to think and act for themselves. It aims to help children learn self-discipline, to take responsibility for their own actions, and to treat both others and themselves with care and respect. Here are some key ingredients in positive discipline. It establishes and maintains clear boundaries, notices and rewards positive behavior, uses reasonable penalties in response to negative behavior. Positive discipline has a positive effect on children and teenagers. It shows them how to improve their behavior without making them feel that they themselves are bad. Negative discipline is unfair, critical, inconsistent, and harsh. Negative discipline focuses on what children are doing wrong. It relies for control on children's fear of adults' power. Its methods are unfair, harsh, and often inconsistent and are based on punishment. It teaches what is wrong but seldom explains what is right or acknowledges good behavior. Negative discipline has a negative effect on children. It makes them believe not just that they have done wrong, but that they themselves are bad. Today, task for the day: think about the boundaries you had yourself as a child. Sometimes it's helpful to think about the boundaries set by others as well as your parents, maybe grandparents or teachers. What impact did these boundaries have on you? You may like to write down your thoughts and feelings. When you have thought about your own childhood, ask yourself what boundaries you think your child or children are experiencing at home with you and elsewhere in their